So my friends, it has been 10 years since the first cable was laid, and after these 10 years of construction and $51 billion in funding, the national broadband network is on track to be completed by next year. So we are told. Hello guys, welcome, it's Techman Pat here, and today we are talking about the current status of the NBN. There's been a few things in the actual, I suppose, what you would call news sector about NBN, and we've got some information about what's happening and what's happening with the money that's actually coming in into NBN and the budget and so on. So guys, if you like these kind of videos, please subscribe, like, and let me know what you think below in the comments. I've got some questions for you coming up in this video. And also check out my other videos. I don't only just do NBN news, but there is a bunch of tech and gadget related videos on my channel, so please check that out. So first of all, 3/4 of Australian households can now connect to the network, including 92% of regional homes, which is a great number. Communication Minister Mitch Fifield on Tuesday said 5 million households were using the NBN, which has contributed $1.2 billion to the gross domestic product, if he is to be believed. In any case, in the latest election promise, Labor said its plan also included launching a digital inclusion drive with the aim of connecting over 1 million households that don't have internet, namely older Australians and those from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. Interestingly enough, my wife's grandmother of the ripe old age of 90 was connected to the NBN before any of our, I suppose, middle-aged people that we know, which is kind of interesting because she never even got to use it, but it was just the area she was living in. And like I mentioned in my previous video, Labor has also promised to establish a $125 million program within NBN Co to reduce dropouts and improve speeds for nearly 1 million fiber-to-the-node households by fixing cabling issues for free. Small businesses will be protected against excessive downtime thanks to an NBN service guarantee that will overhaul service standards. So it might even be an idea to get an ABN and then sign up to the NBN with an ABN and get these guarantees. Now, instead of delivering a fiber optic connection to almost every Aussie home, the Liberal National Party made the decision to use existing copper and HFC networks to obviously save costs. And the Communication Minister, Mitch Fifield, defended this multi-technology mix by saying it was a vast improvement on the failed project that LNP had actually inherited when it took office. But in any case, how do they know it was failed if it never actually kind of went ahead? The result? Well, the NBN will be completed by 2020, 6 to 8 years sooner, and at $30 billion less than what Labor had actually planned early on. And obviously, now that kind of money is, well, what's happening now? We're putting more money into it. So basically, by taking shortcuts and cutting corners, they've saved a whole bunch of $1 billion. So there are also numbers provided by the minister that look to what the current version of the NBN has already added to the economy. We mentioned the $1.2 billion gross domestic product, but it's also expected to create up to 80,000 new businesses and 148,000 new digital jobs, boosting the GDP by $10.4 billion by 2021, which is actually pretty close. It's kind of around the corner. Now, according to the Telecommunication Industry Ombudsman, complaints about NBN service quality dropped from 4.1 per thousand premises to 2.1 per thousand premises in the space of 12 months, which is a fantastic result on paper. The TIO also received just under 10,000 complaints on NBN services for the 6 months to December 31, 2018, while there was 14,000 for the same period in 2017. Now, we're all feeling the pinch with many households going without certain things, but no way, Jose, will we go without the internet to download the latest episode of Game of Thrones. But the consumer watchdog is concerned that households on lower incomes are paying too much for broadband plans. And in general, I don't even think it's the lower socioeconomic people that are paying too much. Generally speaking, broadband is extremely expensive in Australia, and that's been the case for a long time. The cost of basic NBN plans are now more expensive than what most consumers pay for equivalent ADSL 2+ services. And the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission says we are now observing prices of low-speed NBN plans offered to new customers that are at least $10 a month higher than what consumers paid for equivalent plans on ADSL back then. And here is the best part. Optus wants a bigger say in how the NBN is rolled out, arguing some homes should be connected via its own 5G network. Because hey, if I want to sell my product, I better get the government on the side so they can flog it for me. Now, Chief Executive Alan Liu said that the NBN certainly could well be a time bomb, but as an industry, we have to power to work collaboratively with NBN Co to put out the fuse before the inevitable happens. This guy, I don't know what he means by the inevitable, maybe that it all just falls apart, which probably won't happen, but it's just going to be a long mess that's going to get dragged out. Now, he continued that the 5G fixed wireless service option should be introduced into NBN mix where existing services capabilities are just not likely to be matched. So if you can't get a connection right now, why not use the 5G network? Well, currently 600,000 premises are connected to the NBN's 4G fixed wireless service, but NBN Co has no plan to extend fixed wireless services more widely, and we talked about that in the last video because of the congestion. It's getting so bad that they put more people onto this wireless system, and it's just getting worse for the existing customers, and overall, it's not like the service is going to get better unless you put more money into it. So the actual guy, Mr. Liu, says that 5G could bring gigabit speeds in a quick and cost-effective manner. To whom is the question, I suppose, and to households where extended fiber or upgrading copper is the current connection plan. So if the plan is in place, they could just drop 5G and not have to do those actual cables, which is not a bad idea. And not to speak of what 5G is itself, but wireless in general could be a good idea if you can't run these cables to these locations. So what do you think? Should Optus get in bed with the NBN Co? Should we be funding this overseas company and giving it money, connecting it to the government to supply very important infrastructure? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Please subscribe, like, share this video if you want to share the news of NBN with the world. Yeah, let me know what you think. Give me some feedback if you want. Obviously, my email is somewhere in the contacts on the YouTube page. Feel free to email me. I've had a whole bunch of people email me. Thank you very much for that. And I'll see you guys in another video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.